There it goes. Hi, everybody. I've had a little bit of technical struggle here. I have new equipment that I'm trying to set up. And anyway, I thought I had disconnected it properly to read what I know works so that I didn't mess this up. And I messed it up for a minute or two. But anyway, hi, welcome. I'm Donna Norris, Soul Level Intuitive. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see your faces, your names anyway. I envision, what you guys must look like and kind of all angelic if you want to know the truth. Shanley, hi. It's so nice to see you and happy Monday to you too. Elite the Beth, Christina O, Venus, Jessica Lynn, Sherry Neidig. Oh my God, Sherry. Sherry Neidig is an illustrator of books, and I had the opportunity, the blessing to be able to look at some of those books. And oh my God, y'all, she's so talented. They're beautiful. Thank you for that blessing, Sherry. I appreciate it. Lois Teresa, how are you? MW, Michelle Krantz. Excuse me one second, guys. Angela C, Bora Bora. Nice to see you. Thank y'all for being here. This is a new member of Casa Canine. He's only visiting. He's the second one this month. I don't know if you guys have been going through stuff this month, but I have been through a lot of emotions. This is Jalapeno. Jalapeno is 17. And if you can see, he's got like 3 teeth. He's really sweet, but he's deaf, pretty much totally deaf and 3/4 blind. But he feels energy, obviously. So as soon as this started, my guys assume their usual position on the sofa behind me, but he doesn't understand all this. And he's like, what's going on? I got to be a part of this. So here he is. Anyway, it's been quite a ride this month so far for me. I hope you guys are doing well. I came back from a brief vacation and fostered a dog for a week. Was fortunately able to find her a home, but not before I got to process a whole lot of stuff that I thought I had already processed about being a failed foster. And I am terrible at fostering. I had already fallen in love with that dog and had sort of half-heartedly made up my mind to keep her, even though I don't need 3 dogs. And but the perfect family came along, and so I was able to work through that and get her to where she needed to go. And now we have this visitor for a few more days. He'll be here with us through this week while his daddy's out of town. And then we'll be back to somewhat normal, whatever normal is these days. Anyway, it's so good to see you. Lori Christine, hi, it's good to see you. Carrie Ann Medina, welcome. Welcome, Michelle. Boy, oh boy, I guess I better get started. Let me go back and see if we can do some readings. Let's get our minds off of anything else that might be going on. Take a breath and know that you're in a safe place, a loving place. I care so much about you guys, and it's been hard not to be able to be here. But it's been a wild and crazy ride this month so far. So far, here I'm going to start with Shanley. May I get a higher self message? Yes, absolutely. So I am going to, I've got my Wisdom of the Oracle cards out. I've been tapping into them because, as y'all know, our guides and our spirit team works with us through whatever medium we choose to connect with them. And things have felt pretty confusing and pretty topsy-turvy here. So I've been using my cards more to stay in contact with my guide team. So they've sort of become my friend, Wisdom of the Oracle. Over the years, they're a great friend. And so here we go. Shanley, I'm going to do a 3-card reading for you real quick. Ooh, awesome. Okay, so what's been going on for you, Shanley, according to the cards, is message in a bottle. And when message in a bottle comes in this position, that it means this has been what's been going on. Spirit has been trying to send you signs, maybe deceased loved ones, your angels, your guides have been trying to send you signs to let you know that either you're on the right path or it's time to make a new choice. Time to do something different. And so that's what that is about. That's kind of been the energy. But in the now position, in the what's going on right now, is come to the edge, but come to the edge in the protection position. And what this is usually about when this is going on is there's some false evidence appearing real. We feel it as fear, we relate to it as fear. And if you're like me, sometimes in the wee hours of the morning, one fear calls to another fear and calls to another fear, and it starts this whole daisy chain that results in anxiety and an inability to go back to sleep. But I digress. What it means is that there's been an element of trepidation about perhaps acknowledging the signs that you've been getting, or feeling like maybe your signs, that you've maybe missed a sign, or that your questions and your requests for assistance have not been answered, your prayers, if you want to call them that. But what this card is here to tell you is that you're not going to be left behind. Spirit has a plan for your life. The universe has a plan for your life, and it's not a plan of disaster. It's going to be okay. What it really means too is that the more you dwell on the anxiety, the more you dwell on the what ifs and the what could happen and all of that and the fear, the bigger that gets. So now's the time to just know that right now, this minute, you're okay. And as you take a few calming breaths, you might even want to put your hand over your heart. If you guys have been with me before and done this exercise, you can feel the heat of your hand on your chest when you do this, and just feel it going all the way into your heart, and take a moment to sit with that hand on your heart. Breathe in that feeling, because what that's actually doing scientifically, this is a wonderful holistic self-healing method and self-care method. It releases the same chemicals in your brain as if you actually got a physical hug from someone you love. So you can picture this as being your guides or your deceased loved ones or someone that you would love to hear from, and you'd be getting a hug from them. It's a really good way to sort of help quiet that anxiety and that fear, and know that you really are loved and supported and protected. So you can ask yourself, once you've done that, who in me is afraid? Not necessarily like, where am I and what's going on, but when am I? Is it your little girl who's afraid? Or maybe your inner teenager is afraid, or that inner 20-year-old who had something to prove and mountains to climb. What part of you is it that is seeing that false evidence that's appearing real? Because it's generally rooted in a belief system. This really feels strongly for me. My heart is really resonating with this message. It's generally rooted in a belief system that's no longer true for you, if it ever was true. So I hope you all have the courage to set that aside, feel the fear and do it anyway, as they say, because the signs have been there for you to move forward. And then going into the future is unfinished symphony, but also in protection. And this is another one about don't be afraid to take chances. Now is like the perfect opportunity to rewrite your story, to go in a new direction, if that's what you're thinking about doing, to take that leap of faith and know that all is going to be well, that Spirit has your back. So I hope that helps. And anyway, great way to get started. I hope you enjoyed the message, Chenley. Thank you for the question. Hello, everybody, says Elizabeth. I'm going to go down and see. Oh, man, Venus, thank you for that. Thank you for the message. Thank you for those of you who have reached out wondering, where the hell is she? Yeah, I really appreciate hearing from y'all. It means a lot to me, and thank you for that. I'm so glad to be back. Glad to see everybody and see all the faces here. Let's see. Christina, thank you for asking for questions in all caps, all caps. I get a little, feeling like I need to keep things flowing, and so it's easier for me to try to find them. Bora Bora, Janet C., thank you for being here. Venus has a message about new mediumships that are opening up for me. Whew. Okay. So let's see what your guides have to say. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess you guys have all seen like the lotus flower, how they've got those petals that come to a point and they just sort of layer out into this beautiful, almost like a lily on a lily pad or water lily or whatnot. So this is the image that they're getting. It's like your gifts are unfolding But there are certain ones like that, certain clairs, I guess, if you will, certain ways of receiving information that are more comfortable for you. But I'm getting this taste in my mouth, like you're getting other clairs coming through, maybe taste or smell, or if you're usually a feeler, maybe you're hearing things, or if you're usually seeing things, and maybe you're feeling or smelling things, for something different. So if that's what's happening for you, these new mediumship gifts, that's just spirit's way of telling you that they can get through no matter what, to give you the evidence that whoever you're reading for, whether you're reading for yourself or someone else, it gives you evidence that this is who it is. So, for example, yesterday I was practicing with somebody on mediumship, and we tried not to give the name of who we wanted to come through or any kind of tip at all. And the first thing he says was, "I smell roses." And not only that, I see a hedge of roses going like down the side of a house. And I immediately knew that was my paternal grandmother. She hardly ever comes through. And there she was in spades. Nobody else smelled like roses, wore rose perfume, or had a row of rose bushes outside her house. It was just instant. So I hope you decide to embrace whatever new is coming up for you and let it fly, because you should have seen what it did for my practice partner. He lit up because he had never gotten a smell before, but he definitely smelled roses, and then he followed it up with the vision of the rose bushes. So it was really cool. Clairvoyance, clear vision being his primary, but getting the smell first really meant a lot. So however it unfolds for you, I think it's awesome. I hope you can embrace it. This is what the guides are saying. You're going to be getting things in a different way than what you're used to. They're also saying that you're going to be receiving information that you need to like jot down or note down, because you're not going to know who it's for. So if you have a journal, Venus, I would suggest like just put the month and the day and what this person had to say, and then just sort of be open to the people that you encounter and see if any of them resonate, would want to hear a message, and just kind of ask around. You may not find who it belongs to for a while, but if you go ahead and make a note of it, when you do find the person that the message belongs to, you'll be able to deliver it. So, wow, that's pretty cool. I haven't had that happen to me, but that's pretty cool. So I hope that helps, Venus. Thank you. Yeah, Jalapeno's a trip. He's a little wiggly in my lap right now, but he's a trip. Sherry, those pictures are just amazing. Thank you again. Let's see. MW says, I have been feeling like a big change is coming for me in July. Any input or guidance? Yeah, let me see if I can get him on the sofa real quick, MW. Come on, buddy. There you go. Oh, that's way better. I pull up my cards and see how Spirit's working with us tonight, and then consult with your guides after I pull a card or two. It's okay, bud. You're fine. You can still be here. He doesn't hear a word I say. I'm saying it more for my own, I guess. Oh, no. He loves my little love pats, though. I don't know if any of you guys have dogs or cats, but especially if they're older and they don't hear as well or see as well, you can comfort them and send them love by putting your hands up under their torso, like right behind where the front legs meet the body, and just gently massage that little area. And that's like, to them, that's very comforting. And that's a good way to send energy from your heart to right to their heart, because it's right next to their heart. So it gives them good lovins. Anyway, back to you, MW. Sorry. Here we go. Okay. All right. Wow. Cool. So what we are getting is like what the energy has been is like being present to the moment, here and now. Like there is something getting ready to be birthed inside this egg, But and there's a flag up above, which again is a harbinger of change. But you're kind of in a holding pattern, and you've been in a holding pattern and doing okay. Everything seemed okay. But sorry, I want to make sure you see this. There's little signs, past and future, but you're right here in the present. And so then the next one that comes up is no place like home, but it's in the protection position. So what this means is like there is definitely some kind of trip or some kind of shift in perspective, like a change in the way you think or a change in where you live, but something is fundamental is going to be changing. Like it's in the present position, so sometime in the next 30 days. And what's going to be really cool about it is in the future, it's going to be helping you with the truth be told, which is acknowledging your truth, what's true for you. And I don't know if you can see, but flying out of the heart of that owl, which is all about seeing through to the core of an issue, is love. Those are hearts coming out of his heart. So it's going to be a time that you're really going to intensely be joyful about, and resonate with. So I hope that helps you. That is just incredible. But even in the future, it sees the blue skies, also together with the heart. So I hope that resonates with what's happening for you. Thank you again. Wow, that's awesome. I'm going to go down to the bottom and see if there's any feedback. Venus says it makes sense. Good. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. AM Astro, Laura, Gina, Brino, Denise, S. Steele. Oh my gosh, I guess I better get busy. Here we go. Back up here. Lori Christine, do you have a message for me from my cat Michelangelo in spirit? Yeah, let's see. Michelangelo comes in and he immediately comes and pulls up a seat like at a piano and he starts playing music. I don't know if there's some kind of special message in that he's sending you music. He's sending you, it's just one of those lovely melodies that almost entrances you. Like some of the classical tunes the fingers are flying across the keys. I know it's not really him, but this is like his message for you is about embracing this and just getting into the flow. And he jumps up. I don't know if he was kind of a fancy pants or a showman or something, but he's sort of like bending over at the waist to take a bow for bringing you this. And he's opening his arms. I'm being made aware of him opening his arms and just like reaching up like victory, like whatever it was that was going on with him, he is his best self right now. He's feeling amazing. He's like doing a little dance. I mean, he's really happy and content and doing really good where he is. So I hope that helps you and brings you some comfort. And thank you for the question. Jessica Lynn says, may I have a message from my guides? Anything they'd like me to know right now? Why do I feel like they're here, like knocking on the door? There is a time to make lemons out of lemonade, and this is it for you. And you're not the only one in the position of having to do this, so you're like pouring a glass for everybody else. Like 2 or 3 other glasses, sorry. Something that was like a total surprise, out of left field. Wow. Let me pull a card. Okay. So the card that comes up is all that glitters. And if you look really closely at the top up there, you can see the figure of your higher self looking down on this big pile of all that glitters. And you see the masks, and it's those masks signify, the face we put on to the world or the face someone else may have put on for you that wasn't their true self. And their message was, basically what turned out to be a lot of blowing smoke. All that glitters sometimes isn't gold. And, but you've been aware. So what they're saying is that now that you're aware, and you have already kind of become aware of this and you're thinking about this, you can pull yourself back to yourself, draw up your own energy and shine from the inside out. Understanding that was something that was not meant for you, but there was a lesson to be gained through that struggle, a lesson about discernment and judgment. I'm sorry if that's what you're having to go through right now. If that makes sense for you, let me know. And wow. But the more we can discern and figure out what's true and what's not, and what really resonates, what feels good inside when we get a new opportunity, and what maybe feels a little gnarly and needs to be looked at a little closer, then we can avoid some of those situations. We all fall for it. We all go through it from time to time. Shanley says, I've been getting tapping sounds, but nothing. Tapping sounds. Yeah, but I feel like there are other signs, maybe in the lyrics of a song, maybe in the behavior of your animal, if you've got an animal. It's maybe in like things lining up, like serendipitous events where, everything just seems to go according to plan, which never happens in my day. But, just one of those days where you go, whew, that felt good. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. Then those kinds of signs, an unexpected phone call, I'm seeing like a phone call too. So, Chanley, I hope that makes sense. Michelle Krantz wants to know, will I get a different job soon? And if so, what type of industry? I feel like you're really good at what you're doing right now. Other people are looking to you with admiration and respect. Maybe not public recognition, but you are regarded with respect. I'm going to pull a card. Wait just a minute. So this is about what I'm getting first is a leg up. And this is about someone being there, that right person at the right time, to help you take advantage of a new opportunity that may be coming along. Cleaning up your side of the street, getting it ready. Did I say leg up? Cleaning up your side of the street, getting it ready, because here is the leg up. And this is where the person will be at the right place at the right time to help you make that change, make that shift, or at least make the decision about whether or not to. So that's pretty powerful. I hope that works for you. What type of industry? So as I ask your guides, will you be in the same industry or will you be in something different? They're showing me like it feels the same. It has the same kind of energy with it, but it's with a different focus, a different aspect. So it could be the same industry, but a different aspect, a different side of the business. Or maybe it's the same kind of position, but in a different way. So good luck with that. You'll have to let us know how things go. Shay Ryder says, please tell me if my rescue is happy in my home. Does he feel connected to me? Thanks so much. Absolutely. Let's see what your guides say. I can't connect with that animal because I'm not sure what it is, but I'll try. They're your guides. So what they're showing me is that you have opened your mind and heart. You're willing. And you're doing, it tells me that they're saying that this is not the first time that you have rescued a puppy or a kitty or an animal, I should say. And you're doing all the things such as like giving them their safe space, giving them an opportunity to just sniff around, check things out, claim the space. Well, what they are saying is that there's a little bit of hesitancy about where they sleep. Almost like they're not sure it's really okay to be there, to be in that particular place to sleep. But but the warmth and the feeling, the welcoming feeling, they're saying that you're sending all the right signals. You're sending the right message. And that this is a situation where it's just going to take this animal maybe a little bit more time, not a lot more, because they're saying that this puppy or kitty or whatever it is well on its way. I don't know why, but I feel like it's a dog. But anyways, that could be because of my situation. I don't know. I'm trying to be transparent here, but I feel like it's a dog. But they're almost there. And you're going to have that moment where, they look at you and they just smile real big, and you know that they feel like, I'm going to be okay. I feel safe. And that's all you can hope for. That's awesome. Thank you for rescuing your new baby. That's awesome. Shanley says, I feel it, but I don't believe it. I wonder what it is that makes you hold back, that you don't believe. You might ask yourself what part of it is in you that doesn't believe it, that doesn't believe it could happen for you, that this could be for you. And see if you can figure that part out and work through that and love that part of yourself. Send love to that part of yourself and tell that part of yourself that you're the grown-up now and you're going to take care of them. See if that doesn't help clear the way. Hope that works, Shanley. Sherry says, does my cat Remy have any messages for me? I called her my lavatory bottom dweller kitty. Okay. That's an interesting nickname. So as Remy comes in, Remy comes in and immediately gets like right up eyes to eyes with me. And she's like checking me out, sniffing me, giving me a once over. Are you a cat person? Yeah, you're a cat person. I may not have any cats right now, but I love cats. I've had cats forever. So yeah, Remy's like checking me out. And now she's showing that she's also checking on you, Sherry. I don't know if you have felt like maybe you could feel Remy's energy, like maybe out of the corner of your eye, even see down a hall, kind of like the shadow passing at the intersection of a hallway or something like that, just seeing their shadow. But Remy's been checking on you. And things are going good. Remy really likes the energy in your space right now. It's like calm. So I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoyed the message. And I don't know if Remy used to get up in your face and sniff you like that or sniff new people, but that was fun. Oh, thanks for the sweet message, Jessica Lynn. I appreciate that. Carrie Lynn Medina says, may I have a reading? Will my person and I reconcile soon? Will we work out our issues? Has he moved with another lady? Ooh, that's a tough one. Go ahead, Bogey. Hop down. He's getting in his spot behind my chair. Your guides are saying that he has been showing you that who he is. And it's like they're showing me an image of him sneaking something, like picking something up and putting it in his pocket when he thinks no one is looking, that kind of thing. Not really stealing it. It's not meant to symbolize that, but just stashing a secret. That resonates with what they're saying. He's driven by a fear-based life, and so he feels like he's not. This situation couldn't be for him. That there's a situation with you couldn't be for him. That this is different, and he doesn't really feel like he deserves to have a happy life, and so he's a cut and run before things get too complicated, I guess I should say. When I drew a card about what would be your next syndicated action, I got happy, which for me indicates, trying to become in a place of acceptance about what's happening and what the current situation is in your world, not so much focused on what he may or may not be doing or who he may not be with, because when you start focusing on what's going to make you happy and going after those things, you will be starting to feel a sense of inner peace, and the happiness will shine from the inside out. And that's what's going to draw the great person who's really meant for you to you. I hope that makes sense. But there is somebody else coming down the way. I don't know if y'all know or if you've been with me, Carrie Ann, where I've done it's like a yardstick that I see, and it's like a ways down. But there's someone new coming your way. So I hope that helps. And I'm sorry for what you're going through. Lois Teresa says, "Hi, Donna. Any messages from my higher self for our move to Belize via Mexico? Thank you." Ooh, Gracie and Lois. Wowza. Let's see what the guides have to say. I'm being shown a backpack. And I'm being shown try to keep everything you need for 2 or 3 days in your backpack. It looks like that you open up the top of the backpack and it's everything but the kitchen sink in there. And I'm feeling like, they're going to be roads with chug holes in it is what I'm feeling like. It's going to be some bumps in the road. But you're not going by yourself. It's not just you and Gracie. So when your person who you're traveling with is really going to know how to handle these bumps in the road, and that they're going to be able to feed off your sense of calm. So that's going to be your biggest gift and your biggest challenge at the same time, is just try to stay in a peace of calm and staying in the flow of how things go when these little bumps in the road come up. I want to say something like car trouble, flat tire, that kind of thing. Yeah. But I do see you getting to the finish line, so to speak. And yeah, raising a glass in celebration of your new life and your new place. So congratulations. I don't know when you're planning on leaving, but I hope you'll let us know. And I wish you all the best for a smooth move. May it be nothing more than chug holes. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks for the question. Christina says, I have signed up for the Forest Center for Evolutionary Astrology. Oh my God. He's so amazing. I've just seen him. I haven't seen him live in person or anything, but just listen to him. Do my guides have any messages for me regarding this direction? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's see what the cards say. Oh, this is so good. Oh my God. Okay, so the first one is soulmates. So you've been in the energy of like trying to find what resonates for you, what direction, feels really good. And this feels like it really resonates for you. So this is going to be something that's part of a deeper level soul lesson, this relationship, not, this teacher-student relationship. Because what it's bringing you is a deep knowing, a really good sense of not just who you are and how you respond to different circumstances, but the whys behind it, the literal astrological science behind it. And just like this sense of quiet confidence is what's coming, because down the road in the future, changes in the wind. So this may represent a new direction for your life. It's really awesome. Change in the wind. Very cool. Congratulations. I hope that's great. Your guides speaking through the cards say nothing but good things. So right on, Christina. Thank you. Chanley says we'll practice more grounding. Yeah, these hugs, they are really grounding. And remembering you are safe and supported and protected is really good. Angela. I can relate to the sleep issue. Oh my gosh. Fortunately, lately I have been sleeping well. It's been crazy, but I have been sleeping well. Yeah, and we all miss the signs. None of us catch all the signs. That's why everybody works in tandem with each other. Our angels work with us. Our guides work with us. Our animals work with us. Even our friends, unwittingly sometimes are the messengers that bring us messages that we need. So just kind of try to stay open, and because they're definitely out there and they're coming. Hi, David. Good to see you. Hi, Denise. Would you please ask Starry why he suddenly decided not to go out in our safe fenced backyard? Yes. Let's see what he has to say. Hey, how can you? So as Starry comes in, I'm feeling like a knot in my stomach, which is thanks. Okay, you can let that go now. There is I'm seeing eyes. So I feel like there is something out there that he has encountered that he doesn't want to encounter again. What could it be? And I'm getting this knot in my stomach again when I ask what could it be. So I don't know if you're out there with them when they're out in the yard, Denise, or if this is something that maybe he's gotten into that upset his stomach and it's just given him a bad taste. Or if there is, like, if you back up to the woods and maybe I don't understand the eyes. Let me ask for some clarity here. But I just feel a tension, a lot of tension in my body that he's giving me. So, what he's showing me is like walking on a harness, walking on a lead with you, and that makes him feel more confident. So, this is just me talking because I've only got 5 minutes here. I'm trying to do as many readings as I can. But so, what I would maybe suggest is put on his harness and his lead and walk him out there as if you guys are walking, even though I know it's your safe backyard, and just see if that doesn't help with his confidence and his demeanor. It yeah, it could feel like yeah. Let's see what happens with that. And feel free to touch base with me and let me know how things are going. Excuse me, y'all. Jalapeno's back. You okay, buddy? He's okay. Yeah, I know. He's a good boy. Okay, so let's see. Glow says, "Hi, Glow. Nice to have you here. Do my guides have a message for me? Thank you." I know, you're a good boy. Let's see what the guides have to say. So I'm seeing as if you are stepping out from behind somebody. They're showing me that you have been like content to just rock along, but now you're stepping out of a shadow, stepping out from behind something that maybe has been impeding you, and you're ready to. It's like you're walking forward toward whatever it is that you're whatever this is. More like into the spotlight, into the light. It's like there's a light shining on you when you walk out of that shadow. Woo! I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does because it sounds like it's good stuff. Thank you, Glow. I hope that works. Yeah. Hey, Master says, call me live. Yay! I'm glad you're here too. Thank you. Thanks for being here. S. Steele says, will my spouse and I be able to stay together and come together in peace concerning spiritual and religious matters? Ooh. Let's see. What do the guides say? I feel like there's one, maybe two really serious differences of opinion that you feel, but for the most part, you are a lot more accepting of his difference in viewpoint, his difference in his belief system as compared to yours. That in some ways they mesh, but in other ways they don't really. And what they're suggesting is that you listen to each other, and if you can do this while you're holding hands or touching, so that your bodies are touching in some way, that there's something about that contact that will make a heart-to-heart conversation and a meeting of the minds more possible. So I don't know if it's possible to just sit across from them and take their hand and try to ask them to explain to you how they feel and really listen without thinking of what you might want to say back. And so after they tell you something, say, so what I'm hearing you say is this, and truly try to see it from their point of view, or at least repeat it back, what you're hearing them say, whether you agree with it or not. And then when they say, yes, that's how I feel, you could then say, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I need some time to sit with that. And each of you take your turn to like have your say. And if this is not anything that you think that your spouse would participate in with you, you can express verbally how you feel, or you can write it in a letter and just pass a note. You know how in school we used to pass notes? Pass a note. And in the meantime, they're suggesting that to look for the good. You guys came together and fell in love and made the choice to be together because you love one another. And there's so much good that you see in each other, and that good person is still in there. So find something good every time you see them, every time you notice them, and even if you don't express the compliment out loud, acknowledge it to yourself. It's like I say, 3 happies for every crappy. For everything that you don't like, try to find 3 things that you do like. And I think it might help with the tolerance, the ability to, they're saying, the ability to hear each other out. Because it feels like they're showing me like both of you are like this, and both of you want to be heard, but you're not able to hear each other. Yeah, that's a sticky place to be. And we all have those days, those sticky places, and every relationship goes through that time. But what they're saying is to remind us, they're reminding all of us, that there's more than one right way when it comes to spirituality and faith and religious beliefs. There is more than one right way, or there wouldn't have been umpteen zillion faiths, gods, goddesses, means of spirituality and means for our higher self to reach out. We're here to have an evolutionary experience so that by the experience of this lifetime, by the time we end it, we will have evolved into a little bit more unconditionally loving person. So even if you guys are not ever able to have a complete meeting of the minds where you're both content and happy with the outcome, you can hopefully come to a place where you can love this person anyway, in spite of the differences. Or I shouldn't say in spite of, including with the differences, love everything about that person. So, that's a tough order. But thank you, Estiel. I hope that helps. But that it's really, they're saying it's really about active listening. You can't control his part, but you can do it for your part. If nothing else, your side of the street will be clean because you will have done your part. So thank you. Denise, hi Donna, again in caps. Please ask Dari why he has suddenly stopped going out in our safe fenced backyard. He has to wear a belly band for obvious reasons before this latest behavior. I think I may have already answered that question, Denise. I hope so. There's a fear of something back there. And I'm not sure what's causing it, if it's an external thing or if it's an internal thing. And that's where that knot in my stomach is coming from. It's kind of going to be a process of elimination to figure that part out. Brina 41, hi, welcome to my channel. Glad you're here. I just applied for another job yesterday. What do you see as the outcome? Thanks. Let's see. What do you think, Jalapeno? Your one of your guides is coming in with keep applying. That there's you may get this position, you may get this offer, but there may also be something better, like in between the time that they offer you this job and you say okay, and the day you're supposed to start, like something in that space in between is like coming right up, slipping right up in there. So yeah, because they're showing me this feeling of yin. And yin energy is receiving. So this is the energy that, you're going to be in. It's like thanking the universe in advance for having this job worked out for you, be it this one that you applied for yesterday or something better, that other thing that might be coming around the corner. Because this is where you are blessed in this encounter. The job that you do take, the job that you end up with is like going to be a real blessing. Because it's going to feel challenging, but easier, if that makes sense, than than if like you try to just like make it fit. It should just flow together. Give and take. Wow, Brina, I hope that works out. You'll have to come back and let us know how it goes. Hi, Bora Bora. Hi, Laura. Oh my gosh, Venus. I'm getting random spirits that are murder victims. I even got first and last names of the shooters. This is where that journal is going to come in super handy. By and large, I don't know where you live, if the police department there has a reputation for working with, psychics, but there are psychics who specialize in doing this kind of work. But if not, it may just be a case of putting it in your. You can even have a special journal just for these kinds of spirits that come through for you. Because as you go on, if you start doing more readings for other people, they're going to be pulling you back, and you'll be able to get that message to the person, their loved one, who maybe doesn't have closure or doesn't know what happened to them. It's almost like a precognitive thing. You haven't had the reading with the person who needs the message yet, so you don't really know. You know what I mean? Wow. It's hard to just put it out there. And I do know some psychics who post on their website or post on their Facebook page, I got this reading, who is it for? And then they write out the story like your spirits. You could do something like that. I don't know if you have a page or have a website, or if you do readings professionally or not, but yeah, that would be something that you might be able to do to find out who the message is for. Wow. Amy M. Astro says, hi, Donna. My partner and I bought some acreage and a house out in the country. Oh, cool. We have 4 dogs between us, 2 big and 2 small. Are the hawks on the property going to cause any trouble for us? Yeah, I do feel like there needs to be a tree shaded place anyway, for your dogs to kind of be in an enclosure. But I do sense, especially with the small dogs, that needs to be extra care taken to keep them out of a flight path where they can just swoop down and grab them and keep going. Under tree cover, that kind of thing would be good. Netting would also be another good idea. Yeah, they're I do feel like they're not going to stay. The hawks are not there year round. This is just a seasonal thing. So maybe alter your routine until they move on, because that doesn't. It feels like they're only there maybe like 4 or 5 months out of the year, and then they're gone. So thank you. Gosh, I hope that works. I hope that helps. You're welcome, Venus. Gina M. Do you see my spiritual gifts developing? How will I use them? Thank you. Your guides are showing me like your crown chakra opening up like a hatch out of the top of your head, and them being able to send information, help me, to you, down into you, and through you, out through your body, like through energy work through your hands, through, verbally retelling the information that you're given, through your sight and your hearing, and even feelings like those full body goosebumps you get when you get a psychic hit that is real. I also see a pendulum. I don't know if you use a pendulum when you work with spirit ever. They're really great for opening gateways, opening doorways, yes or no questions. They're Pendulums are great for that. Also good for, they're talking about building like your track record, like, again, going back to a journal is a great way to, if you're just developing your gifts, write down the evidence. And then I like to, when I'm doing my development and for the first years, I would write like little X's or little checks over the information I got if I had an opportunity to verify it. You don't always, but when you do get an opportunity to verify it, the checks and the X's. And whenever you have a day when you're feeling like, I don't know if I'm really cut out for this, I just don't know, or you have a bad reading, which everybody does, nobody's 100% accurate, you can go back and flip through your journal and see, it must, I can't be pulling this out of my rear end. This is something, this is spirit working through you. So the more steps you take towards spirit, the more steps spirit will take back towards you. So what I see is like your gifts developing in waves. It's like you'll get this big rush of accurate readings and success and exhilaration, and then that, I don't know if I could do this kind of trepidation come in, and then it'll just kind of lull for a bit, and then you'll take another leap of faith, and you'll have another like just flurry of serendipitous events coming through and things falling into place and accurate readings. And because the more relaxed you are, the more the readings will come through and the more vivid they'll be, and the more you'll be able to pick up on, because you won't be stressing over, oh my God, I got to get it right, or oh my gosh, let me do well, that kind of thing. We all have that, where that's just being human. But the more we can relax, the more the readings will flow. So anyway, thank you. That was a really good question. And it sounds like your spiritual gifts will definitely be developing, and how you'll use them is to help others, to bring healing, to bring encouragement, and to bring comfort to other people. So I think that's awesome. I also see you working, you could work with animals too if you want. They're showing me you could work with animals as well. So that's awesome. By the way, if any of you want to do a little quick basics of animal communication, this Sunday, the 22nd, this Sunday afternoon, I'm doing the basics of animal communication. That's what I call it. And you'll be able to learn how to communicate with your pets. If you would like to do that, it's $59, and it's 2 hours on Sunday. And then a week or 2 days later, 3 days later, on following Tuesday, we'll get back together and do a practice session for an hour with feedback from each other and with me. So if that sounds like something that would interest you, you can go to donnanorris.net and look under the events tab and sign up for that session. And I'd love to work with you. It's a fun class. It's pretty easy. You relax into it and it just flows. Thank you all. This has been a terrific way to get back into this. Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. Goodness, Leah, there you are. Dottie, there you are. My gosh, I thought I was down at the bottom of the messages, and there's a whole passel of them left here. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at all this. Let's see if there's another question in here. Oops. Well, Italy the best said they don't call it a crown chakra for nothing. Let's see. Here's one more question. I'll try to do this one. Maria Amethyst Celentine, welcome. I don't think I've heard from you before. I'm wondering, do you feel me and Philip will break up? We have been together for 9 years. It's very toxic, very difficult. I'm crying. Let's see. What I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from your guides is that, and we all do this too, we get in relationship with people, and it doesn't even have to be an intimate couple type relationship, but you just kind of get into a rhythm relating with other people, and it becomes familiar, and it's just easier to stay with what's familiar than to set a boundary and take a risk. But what I'm seeing is like the more you stay in this relationship, the more your light gets dimmed, the more you feel diminished. And that's not what love should be. That's not what life should be. We should be encouraged and empowered to go after those things that bring us joy, to encourage each other. And there's, what they're saying is that there is another path for you, and there is like a fork in the road coming soon, and there is another path for you if you want to take it, that will help you to come back like 10 times bigger and better and happier than you were when you met Philip. I'm never one for advocating yes, break up, or no, don't. I'm just saying that what if you set the boundary and he respects the boundary and you guys are able to redefine the parameters of your relationship and you stay together? Yay. But you do it in a way that's empowering and encouraging and loving for both of you. Even better, that's the way we're supposed to work through, the bumps in the road in the relationships, right? So, but you deserve what you deserve, and you deserve to be treated well, and you don't deserve to have your light snuffed out or your worth diminished in any way. That's not what's in for your highest good, and that's not what's intended for you in this life. So I hope that things work out for you, and I really thank you for coming to visit my channel. I hope you guys will hit like and hit subscribe so you'll know about the next ones that'll be coming up. I'll be back again this weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you then. Until then, I really appreciate you being here. Bye for now. Love you guys. Come on, jalapeno.